My name is Ines. I'm part of the ESA team working on DestinE, and more especially, I'm part of the team that is going to implement the platform. So before starting, I just wanted to let you know that we are starting with the implementation of the platform, so there is no detailed technical specification that I can tell you, but I'm going to present a little bit the framework that we have created for this program. Okay, so here you can see the main points that define what is the platform, or we call DESP. DESP, as it was mentioned before, is the interface point with all the users, and through the platform you will have access to all the services and all the functionalities that are going to be developed also by UMETSAT and ECMWF. So DESP serves as the single access point to DestinE ecosystem. DESP is going to be an open digital platform that is going to be easily accessible by all types of users, which means generic users of all types, researchers, scientists, policymakers, etc., but also by users that can provide a service to the platform, what we call service providers. DESP provides a comprehensive framework for the analysis and management of Earth system processes. It enables the development and exploitation of applications and services, and I'm going to detail a little bit more after how we want to implement these services in the platform. And the outcome of all the services that are going to be included in the platform aims to help evidence-based policy and decision-making. Some features of the platform, so how we want the platform to look like. Mainly, we want the platform to be something open and inclusive to every type of user. We also want to have a platform that is scalable so that it can be easily adapted to different user scenarios. So we don't know exactly who is going to be accessing the services in the platform. So we want all services to be adaptable to few users or to thousands of users. This will gradually allow users to customize the platform, so we are very involved in the co-design aspect that was already mentioned before. So we want users to integrate their own data, to develop their own applications, and we will adapt the design of the platform to users' needs. And finally, another important concept of the platform is that we want to provide a free access to users. It will be a limited access because the budget is not infinite, but we want the users to have free access to all of the services. So in terms of the architecture of the platform, this is how we have defined the implementation of the platform that is currently starting. So we have what we call core services. That are the basic services, very limited, and everything that is needed to access the platform. You will have I will go later on that, sorry. And then we have the advanced services that are still to be defined and depend basically on what you users can provide us, that will be served by the core services. And apart from core services and advanced services that will be purchased by ESA in an open tender, we can have many other type of registered services. In terms of core services, we include what we call platform management services and data management services. Platform management services such as dashboard, information dissemination, blogs, web platforms, service desk, identification and authorization management, etc. And in terms of data management, we will have basic services of data visualization, data traceability, data access to have a direct link to the data lake, basic limited computing capabilities, programming, etc. And then we have what we call the advanced services that are going to be served by the core services that will be implemented later than the core services. And we divided them in two main areas, which are Earth system and applications of the Earth system modeling and collaborative services. So these are some examples of the advanced services that are still to be defined because this depends on what exists in the community and what the users and the service providers can bring us. But for example, we have everything related to DT's framework, on-demand simulation, interactive visualization, an integrated ecosystem for future DTs, etc. We have AI-based frameworks, so model development space, Earth observation AI database, training and labeling services. And we also have collaborative services, with, as I already mentioned, it's an important concept that we want to include in the platform, which is the co-design aspect, all the feedback from users, and the continuous adaptation of the platform to the user's needs. Here you have an overview, so the slides will be shared. I don't think it's very useful to go through this now, but you can see more or less how it works. We will have the link to the digital twin engine, to the data lake that will have the link to other data sources, and then we have all type of services. In the top row, you have the core services. The bottom left, you have the advanced services that we are going to include, and then we have all the other registered services that depend on the user community, what they can provide us. So, okay, yeah. Something that I didn't mention yet is that there will be a DESP code of conduct, so all services that are going to be integrated in the platform will need to comply with some rules, for example, contributing to the objectives of Destination Earth. So here is what I was just mentioning. What are the requirements for a service to be included in the platform? So we need services that are easily adapted to different user scenarios so that they provide scalability options. So a service that can offer a service for few users but can adapt its service to thousands of users. Then we need services that serve the objectives of Destination Earth initiative, so contributing to the European digital development and to the Green New Deal. And also, we need services that are open and inclusive to all DESP users, to all type of users, and also commit to standards of quality and performance, because I remind you, this is an operational platform. It has to be working. It has to have some standards of quality and performance, because the data are expected to be used by policymakers and to take decisions. So how users can use the platform, or the DestinE, what we call DestinE ecosystem, because the platform is the direct access for all users. You can be a service provider, and that means that you have your own service, you generate your outcome or your asset or whatever you generate in relation to Destination Earth initiative, and then you want to register your service in the platform. There will be an open procedure that is still under preparation because, as I mentioned, the implementation hasn't started yet. I will show a schedule later. But it will be a very easy process to include your service in the platform, and there will be resources paid by ESA to facilitate the onboarding of these services. And the other option is you don't have a service, but you are a generic user that just want to retrieve the information that is generated by DestinE ecosystem. The platform will have a gradual opening, so maybe you don't have access from the beginning, but you will have access later. But everyone will be able to access and to use the services, and also the free usage profile that will be provided by the services. This is the last slide, the implementation schedule. So we are starting with the technical implementation. We started with the core services. So right now we are in the selection process of the core services. We will start with the advanced services in a couple of months. We expect a gradual opening of the platform by the end of this year, with a total transition into operations by the end of phase 1, which is Q2 of 2024. And on the bottom, you can see the opportunities for users to participate in this implementation of the platform. So we have the selection of ESA use cases that is going to be open, you can see there, in 2 rounds. Those use cases are services or potential users of the platform that are going to help us validate the functionalities that we want to provide. And then you also have the option, if you have your own service in relation to Destination Earth initiative, to apply to the advanced applications open call, or just to request to be integrated in the platform, and we will provide the required onboarding support for that.